Hey y'all, welcome to our channel. My name is Tracy and I'm the keeper of the home here at 4D Farms, where we are all about faith, family, home, and farm, and in that order. And we're kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So y'all just come on in, grab a seat, take a look, and have a listen, because you don't want to miss a thing. Good morning, y'all. Tracy here with Keeper of the Home at 4D Farms. I'm going to try an experiment today. We're on a work trip. We're not home. But y'all, I'm just craving some of my 5-minute no knead bread. And I'm trying an experiment this morning. I have already got my dough mixed up. Okay, I've got it covered, and I'm going to cover it again, and I'm going to let this ferment all day long. I did one thing different when I mixed this dough right here. I added just a hint of molasses, just to give it that little sweetish flavor instead of that salty flavor sometimes that you get from this dough. I'm going to be trying a little experiment because I have some mini loaf pans that's going to work fine in my air fryer. I'm going to try an experiment in my air fryer. I've already done one experiment in here making some bread. And y'all, it turned out wonderful. I will be making more of that bread. But I want to see how this bread is going to do in little mini loaves in my air fryer. So we're going to let that ferment all day long, and then we'll just keep experimenting. All right, y'all. It is time to do the next part. Do y'all see what this looks like after it's been sitting for a while? You see that fermentation, that bubbly? All right. See, it doubled way in size, and y'all remember this is a sticky dough until you get it on your floured surface, okay? So, yeah, and you can smell it's been fermenting too, okay? Now, I'm going to start out with 3. The only thing I need to do with this right here, I'm going to reserve some of this dough to make a couple of personal pan pizzas, okay? The rest of it, I'm going to try to make into little bread loaves, and I can freeze them and then take them out and eat them when we want to. So, I'm going to start out with 3 loaves first. I'm going to reach in here, and we're going to, let's punch it down a little bit first. There we go. All right. So we're going to reach in here. We're going to start getting this away from the sides. Look at that, y'all. Y'all see that fermentation? You see those air pockets? Oh, y'all. Now, I need to save some of this for pizza. So I'm going to half it. I'm going to try to half it inside this bowl. And I will use this half right here for 2 personal pan pizza crust. So we're going to get the rest of the dough out. Look at that stickiness, y'all. You can wet your hands, you can flour, whatever. See? Look at that. I'm just going to save the rest of that because I can make 2 thin personal pan pizzas out of that. So, once you break into that, okay, once we pop all those bubbles and stuff, now this needs to go into the refrigerator for when I get ready to use the pizza crusts. So right now, we're just going to be working with this dough, okay? So, I'm just going to take my dough, scrape, and knead. Scrape and knead. This right here, y'all, comes in handy and just keeps some of the mess off your hands. Easier cleanup. Okay? We're just going to, now you're not really supposed to knead this, y'all, but I'm just going to do this just for the sake of doing this right now. Okay? Now, I need to divide this into thirds because this is, and I'm going to do the flat side now. Okay, now I need to divide this into thirds because I'm going to do 3 loaves. So we're going to do a third. Boop, let's see. One right there. I will test these here in a minute. Just kind of like get them in my hand, weigh them a little bit. I can already tell you this one right here is going to have just a little bit more. So we're going to take from these 2 and put over into this one. That way, you want even loaves, y'all, okay? So let's see. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. Okay. We got them into third. They're not going to be perfect all the time, y'all. Now, we are going to take these and we're going to just like kind of shape them to our loaf pan. I've already got it greased. So we're just going to kind of like fold and fold to create kind of like some layers in the bread, okay? And then you want it kind of like the length of your pan. That's going to be good right there. It's like the length of my pan. Now, on the bottom, you want to make sure your seams are closed up. So just kind of pinch them up. Okay? Pinch them up. All right. Now turn it over. Keep your board surfaced, y'all. All right. Turn it over. Place them in the pan like this. All right. Now you can play with it and form it to your pan. Now, we've got to let this rise, okay? That was proofing and rising. This one is just going to be this rise right here in this pan. All right? Just, you want them in the corners, okay? Make sure it's kind of even. All right, there's one. And we're going to do the others the same way. So we're just going to kind of like fold and create. Turn and fold. I need a little bit more flour. Turn and fold. Create those layers in your bread, y'all, okay? And we're going to fold again. Now, we want that seam on the bottom. Okay? So we're going to pinch it closed. And we're going to put that seam on the bottom. If you want to, y'all, you can roll this in a rectangle if you want to. See, it's already trying to start rising on me. Okay? Now we're going to put that one in there. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to squish this down in here and just form it to our pan. See? Get it in the corners. Let me move a little closer so y'all can see. Form it to our pan. Okay, stretch it out there. Push it in the corners. Make sure it goes in the corners. I've buttered these, y'all, so... Alright. It's so puffy. Okay, get in the corner. It's wanting to follow my hands. Okay, that's about the best we can do with that one. Roll this one around. Okay. Remember I told y'all there's so many ways you can play with this dough. Or at this point, I can sit here and make rolls. I can make whatever I want to make. Okay? But the rest of that dough is going to be my pizza crust. Alright, now, I'll fold one more time. We're going to close that seam up. Just like that. We're going to put it on the bottom. And then we're going to put our little loaf in here. Same thing. Just press it down to where it fills up your loaf pan. Okay. It's so spongy, it's wanting to follow my hands back out of the pan. Okay. Go into the corners. Okay. They're not going to be perfect, y'all, and it's okay. Just form them to your pan. And y'all, if you're going to do a big loaf, just take a big hunk out and put it in your bigger loaf pan. That's all. Ooh. All right. Now, we are going to set these aside. They're already rising. We're going to set these right here on the table. And we're going to let them do their rise. This could be called like your second rise. But normally, your rising is like after you formed it, and this is like the first rising. Okay, I'm going to cover these up. We're going to let these chill out here. I'm going to clean up. We're going to let these be rising. Then we will go to the next step. All right, y'all. It is time to put this bread in the air fryer. Y'all see how it puffed up and rose? All right. We are going to put this in the air fryer. And y'all, what I like to do is I'm going to do this on 325 because I have been experimenting. Let's go ahead and set the minutes. It's going to be 20 minutes, but I'm going to tell you what we're going to do through the process. 325, 20 minutes. But what we're going to do is, y'all excuse me because I'm like, woo, halfway through this, okay? What we're going to do is 325. I'm going to get away from that so you can hear me talk. I had to go out in the rain, y'all. Check the chickens for her, and this is what I come back in looking like. So we're going to do 325, 20 minutes. Halfway through it, I did reach in there, flip the loaves over because, y'all, this is an air fryer. The element is on top, but I needed to make sure that the bottom was getting okay. It wasn't doughy in the middle, so I did reach in there and flip them, and, y'all, it was so easy to flip, okay? And then I did, let's see, 10, and then I did 4 to 6 minutes on the bottom side. Okay, wait. Halfway through it would be 10. Okay. Then I did 5 minutes on the bottom side. Then I reached back in, flipped it back over, basted the tops of them with melted butter, and I sprinkled some sesame seeds on there. Then I finished baking it for the remainder of the time. Don't keep resetting your time. Just keep up with it in that 20-minute time frame. Halfway through, turn them over. Okay? Do about 5 minutes or 6 minutes flipped upside down. Okay? Then reach back in there, that remaining 4 minutes, flip them right side up again, baste with some butter, melted butter on top, sprinkle you some sesame seeds on top, let them go that last 4 to 5 minutes, however long you do it on the bottom side. And then I'll show you what they look like. Do y'all see that? 2 little loaves down already. I'm going to let these cool off right here, and then I'm going, because don't cut into bread. Resist the temptation of cutting into bread right when it comes out, because, y'all, you will ruin your loaf. I am going to actually get these out of here and put them on something to let them be cooling, and then we're going to slice into the middle of it. Let y'all see what it looks like. Y'all, we are at the 10-point mark. We're just going to take the loaf. Ow, be careful. Don't burn yourself. Let me see if I can grab it, y'all, from this little tip. Flip it over. Look how easy that was. I'm going to go probably 5 minutes on the bottom, okay? So it's going to go down to 5, and then we'll go to the next step. All right, y'all. Now, I reached in, I flipped it back over. Now, we're going to baste with some butter. And y'all, this is smelling so good. Yeah, you can do bread in an air fryer. You just have to play around with it. Y'all, excuse my air fryer. I used it for breakfast this morning, and I forgot to clean it out. I made some biscuits. I forgot to clean it out. Okay, there's just a little bit left in there. We are just going to pour that little bit of butter just on top, just like that, y'all. Ooh, look at that. Now, we are going to sprinkle with sesame seeds. Y'all, look at that. Isn't that a pretty little loaf? All right, now we're going to sprinkle with sesame seeds on top. Y'all, if you want to, before you bake this, no, because you're going to have to flip it. I was fixing to say, you could do this at the very beginning, Okay, but if you're going to flip this, then you don't want all these seeds to fall off. All right, now we're going to put it back in there for the remainder of the 5 minutes. Y'all, I couldn't wait any longer. We're going to go ahead and taste test these. Look at that texture, y'all. Look at that. Oh, I'm getting in the way. Look at that texture. Look at that. All right, y'all. Y'all know what we have to do now. I want to get some of them sesame seeds and butter. Butter! That molasses helped to give it a little better flavor. Y'all, I'm going to slice one of these little loaves up tonight. I am fixing to fix a roast and some vegetables in the Instant Pot. Me and dear hubby's going to have us some little mini bread with our roast. Y'all, that one's fixing to be done. I think the molasses, I'm going to add a little more next time. Yeah, you can add some sugar if you want to. A lot of people don't like the bland taste of bread. You can sweeten it up if you want to. You can put some molasses or some honey or some sugar in it. It's fine. Y'all, I'm going to slice up some of this, and we're going to have one of these little mini loaves with our roasted vegetables tonight. That one's fixing to come out of the air fryer. I'm going to set it down to cool, and that is bread in the air fryer. 5-minute, no knead bread dough turned into loaves in the air fryer. You're welcome.